want to say that we were on track to having a somewhat decent length of a show, according to our Tuesday meeting when we were show prepping. And then Wednesday morning, you text me that this Trump Gaza video. And we're like, okay, pivot. We have to talk about this.
Yes. God, I don't even know I'm not even sure where to start with this one, April. I mean, my friend Melinda Hale tweeted a few weeks ago, like, is there any level to the embarrassment that MAGA will go through? Like, is there any bottom in sight? And you always think every day, yes, and we just found it. And then another day happens and you go, nope, yesterday's bottom was not the bottom. And this is another one where I go, I don't know how I can get much worse than this video. Because this one's real bad. This one's real bad.
It honestly might be the most unhinged thing I've seen. And I grew up going to youth group in the 90s. And I saw some weird youth group games.
And I've done some weird youth group stuff. I mean, so should we just play the whole thing through and then kind of dissect it? Because there's a lot of layers here. If you're listening to this on podcast, we're gonna recap it and go through some of the different shots in this video. I'm sure you've seen it though on your social media channels. It went mega viral for all of the wrong reasons. Let's just play this video and we'll kind of give some context to it and what's going on. And then we'll go from there. So this is Trump did not, as far as I know, him and his team did not make this video, but he did reshare this video on all of his social media channels, and it has I think over 1 million shares right now.
And it is very clearly AI.
Very, very much everything about it. All right, here we go. Brace yourself.
Set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one.
Oh boy.
So for those listening on the podcast, just go watch the video somewhere if you can. You know what? It took me the second or third watch that I recognized the lyrics. Where he's talking about Trump Gaza shining bright. Like, oh my gosh. Trump Gaza will set you free, or very odd.
It's horrible. It's atrocious. So, for those of you who follow us on the New Evangelicals, we've been covering the ongoing genocide of the Palestinian people for over a year now. We've done a lot of content on it. We did a 4-part series unpacking the history of Israel-Palestine, what kind of launched all of this in the beginning. So I don't have time or, there's not time or energy to recap the whole thing. It's in a lot of ways, a very complicated history that kind of gets us here. But what we do know is after October 7th, Israel, in partnership with the U.S., dropped the equivalent of 2 atomic bombs on Gaza. Right now, Gaza has the highest concentration of child amputees out of anywhere in the world. The whole place is decimated. Healthcare systems are wiped out. Schools are wiped out. There's widespread famine in the region. And Joe Biden and his administration helped make that a possibility. I mean, they funded that over and over and over and over again. And so we knew that while a lot of us were not a fan of Harris and her position on Gaza and Israel, we knew that a Trump regime would be infinitely worse. And we discovered that within a few weeks of his presidency, when Trump said that, hey, we should just take over Gaza, drive out the indigenous people there, aka the Palestinians, and we'll just make it into a great place where the whole world wants to go. And fast forward to today, and this crazy video comes out of Trump resharing an AI-generated image or mock-up of what would actually happen if the colonizers colonized. And I think it's important to call it out because we often talk about, April, right, the history of colonization, how early settlers wiped out the indigenous community in America and they colonized the land. But we don't always have the eyes to see it happening in real time. And what we're watching right now is a real-time playbook of how colonization functions. Going from you invade, you take over, you wipe out the population, and then you kind of rewrite the history of, oh, we're going to make it great again. Who wants to live there? We don't want Palestinians living there anymore. It's a total dump because we caused that. That's what we don't tell you. So let's just remake it in our own image. And then we get this really weird video trying to do that. And it has some really weird images in it. I mean, some very bizarre ones that I go,
tens of thousands of
why?
innocent Palestinians who are not Hamas,
right,
have been bombed and died here. And this video is like basically turning a giant graveyard into this resort for rich people.
That's right. That's right. Like this shot here looks like an Elon Musk type of figure.
That's
right?
definitely supposed to be Elon Musk.
100%. Just sitting and eating whatever he's eating at the beach in Gaza as if like nothing ever happened. Like, no, we didn't drop the equivalent of 2 atomic bombs on the region. No, we didn't cause all of this death and chaos. Everything's great now. We've remade it.
And like, it's just so insensitive and disgusting because Palestine is still decimated, like currently.
Yep.
And Trump and Elon Musk just cut USAID that was sending aid to Gaza.
Yep.
Palestinians need food and shelter and water, not this colonizer's weird wet dream.
Right. And it is a weird wet dream. Emphasis on weird.
It is.
Because in this video is this shot.
It appears to be women with beards or trans women or trans men or drag queens. Definitely someone who is gender non-conforming.
I would agree.
And I don't know if anyone else sees this or not, and this could just be my brain, but both of them look like Trump Jr. to me.
And they're belly dancing.
Yes.
They're belly dancing.
I mean, I have no idea what that would mean. The whole thing is weird AF, but
I just wonder, like, for all the talk about getting rid of trans people, I don't know why Trump would reshare this video with what looks like, maybe 2 trans women or 2 trans men or someone, either way, like this is a very non-gender conforming shot, right? Like there's no way to kind of like see it otherwise. And so it's like, okay, this made it into the video and people are resharing it. Like what's going on in this video? It's so wacky. But there's another shot too I wanted to get to that I mean, for me was just like, okay, this is the one. It's a child holding a balloon that is Trump's golden head. What are we doing? Why would
Disney
Trump reshare
World.
this? Yes.
Like that's reminiscent of the Mickey Mouse balloons that you would hold if you go to Disney World as a kid.
Right. And then there's this picture of Donald Trump dancing with a belly dancer who's not his wife, by the way. And I will say to the far right trad crowd, she's not modestly dressed. For the record,
she is not.
She's not.
She does a little turn, and she's wearing a sheer thing, and you can definitely see some booty.
It's almost like Trump saw this and goes, "Wow, so many things that I know my constituents are against are in this video, but they love me so much, they'll just gloss over this. They'll just gloss over me dancing with someone who's not my wife. Like, no big deal. They'll just gloss over, trans men in belly dancer outfits dancing on the beach because they love me so much." And he's right. Like, most people in his team have just been sharing this thing like crazy. And then I think what really got me, though, I mean, here's one of like an Elon-looking guy throwing money. Like, the amount of disrespect, right, to the Palestinian people with this video is immense. And we've had friends on the show, Daniel Bonanora, a good friend of mine, Christian Palestinian. This is just like a massive slap in the face. We've funded your genocide, and now we're going to make AI videos celebrating us stomping on the graves of your loved ones. That's what's going on here. And Trump reshares it. It's unbelievable. There was one more shot, though. Trump Gaza is so stupid. This one right here. This is the one.
A giant golden Trump statue in the Holy Land.
Yes, thank you. Think about that for a second. Just think about that. It's like a 30-foot tall golden statue of Trump. The narcissism of this man, the Messiah. This man, he sees himself as a Messiah. That's what's going on here. And we covered this, I think, last week on the show. There's a whole Messiah complex happening in the right-wing MAGA space. And we saw it years ago. There were books like Donald J. Trump, the Son of Man, the Christ being released. There were all these kinds of different connections about how Donald Trump, he was almost assassinated and God moved his head at the last minute. All this talk about this stuff. And now he's posting videos of him, a golden statue of him in the Holy Land. And again, there is some outcry that we'll get to, but not a whole lot. This is like Antichrist stuff. This is Antichrist stuff, April. It's unbelievable.
It's offensive to not only Christians, if you follow the book, but also to Jewish people and Muslims that live there.
100%.
So much of this video goes against so many of the religions, Abrahamic specifically.
April,
I don't even.
April,
what?
I just discovered something. So this shot, I didn't notice this. Do you know who that is?
You never
on the right?
noticed this? Yeah, it's Netanyahu.
I just didn't see it till now because I haven't had time to pause on it. So the last shot is a picture of Donald Trump shirtless, in a bathing suit, and then to his left is Netanyahu, and they're on some resort with the word Trump Gaza behind it. Oh my God! Like, it's just so clear. It's so clear what is going on in this video. It's so clear. Hey friends, that was just a snippet of our full conversation, and trust me, you're going to want to hear the rest of it. We go way deeper in the full episode. So don't stop here. Head over to the Tim and April Show on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and watch the full video. And hey, while you're there, drop a comment and let us know what you think.